Mecha Ritz Steel Rondo is a Dojin shooting game that the deluxe version of which, the Steel Rondo version, came out pretty recently for like Switch and Steam. But the game Mecha Ritz has been out for a long time. I don't know what the difference is per se, but I found the game pretty easy. So you'll see that I cranked the rank up to master. It starts at rank 332. There are 332 different levels of rank in this game, which makes it very dynamic. It's very much not at least in my personal experience, it's not a like very strict, precise routing game. It's a figure it out and kind of get hit a lot and try different stuff and kind of wacky chaos kind of a game, which is cool. I will say that the scoring in it is not my favorite thing in the whole world. It's involves getting these sweet spots of bigger enemies and bosses and throughout a level, and you'll see that it like shakes the screen terribly, which I'm surprised didn't get kind of more criticism when the game came out. It's a pretty beloved game by people in the community, and I certainly do really like it too, but I don't like that screen shake when you get those sweet spots. And although it's like sort of tactilely satisfying, I just feel that any kind of screen shake in a shooting game causes kind of annoying amount of imprecision that affects my want to get up close. But the thing is, you gotta kind of be willing to get hit in this game. You already see how much I've gotten hit already. I think I've even died once, because this is my first time playing at this high rank. I cleared the game like 5 times before this at different starting ranks. Hit again. I just found it a little too easy, and I didn't like the scoring enough to try and go for a good score on a more reasonable difficulty mode. This was what I found most fun, is firing this up. Again, this is my first time playing at this rank, so I'm doing really badly right now, just like trying to sight dodge all of this shit. But like I was having a ton of fun just kind of forgetting about score and trying to just get through the game when it's crazy fast and crazy, dense bullet count like it is now at rank 260. It of course dropped way below the starting rank of 322 or whatever it was, because I've been hit and died so many times. To explain some basic mechanics of the game for those who are watching this that don't know, you have a shield in this game that recharges a lot. You hit these purple ships and you can get double. You can get a bomb and a shield if it's a purple ship. Or I don't know. It's hard to even explain. Like, depending on the distance that you hit a purple ship, sometimes it's just a bomb or sometimes it's just a shield. This is not going to be a video that's like heavy on kind of like explaining the mechanics of this game, because frankly I didn't follow, or I didn't retain a ton of it. Again, to me, this game was about ignoring that stuff, or at least like backgrounding it and just having fun shooting things. That's the joy of it in my view. It's just like, it's pure Danmaku kind of synth, madness. Visually like extremely neon, colorful, satisfying. Runs beautifully, like, except for the fact that I had a weird ass amount of slowdown the first few times I played, which then went away. I still can't explain that, and don't know whether it was an intentional thing on the game's part or whether it was just my PC being a complete freak. So yeah, again, like, there's a lot going on mechanically that I'm just not going to get that deep into, but you see that every boss has these kind of these sweet spots appear. They only appear when you get close, and the levels have these sweet spots too, and there's a countdown kind of associated with them that shows up on the screen, and when you kind of get that number down to 0 is when you sort of acquire the sweet spot, and you chain those sweet spots into higher and higher score values. So you'll see the numbers there appearing when I'm close. But this the rank is pretty high right now. So, and again, I told myself while I was playing this, okay, like I'm not gonna get up close to these bosses every single time. Like I was trying to do that in my easier clears, and it was just kind of annoying me because I would get up close, I would try and chain the sweet spots, and it would just, inevitably I would get hit and drop my chain because the game is so freakishly like obsessed with rank and kind of seeming randomness that it's hard not to get hit when you're going for those sweet spots, like really hard. And yeah, just wasn't grabbed by it. It's possible that I could come around to it, but yeah, I just didn't end up caring for it that much. Not the game as a whole, but just the scoring system. The game as a whole is great, and I can see myself coming back to it because it is so dynamic. It is basically guaranteed to be really different every time, as with any game with like a lot of varying levels of rank that go up very quickly and drop very quickly depending on your actions. Just a lot of kind of variety in play to be had. The other thing that certainly can't be denied is that I briefly mentioned, but that should be focused on, in my opinion, is the music in this game is so cool. It's just fantastic. It's kind of fun to like compare this with the last clear that I did, the Exceed Third. Jade Penetrate Black package clear, which is just such a I so meticulously routed that, or I felt like I did. There's always you always kind of get off route and have to improvise in every run, but that was such a considered playthrough, whereas this is just having fun and not considering route. It's sight dodging everything. And certainly maybe the enemy behaviors are would be similar enough play to play where you could route this game. I'm not claiming that it's just entirely random. It definitely is not. But I do think that it shines when you're just kind of meeting its chaos halfway and just basking in it and not trying to break it or rein it in. You see you get these time bonuses. Every boss has a timer that if you or mid-boss has a timer, I think is how it works. Big asterisks next to anything definitive I say about the mechanics in this game. But yeah, I think every boss has a timer that if you beat it within that timer, you get that bonus. And there are also branching levels. And you'll see me choose what I believe to be the easier A levels in this run because I wanted to survive, and I thought I was just trying this mode out, this kind of master max rank mode, to eventually clear it. I did not expect to clear it my very first time playing it, but such is the nature of this game. It just piles you up with shields and with bombs and with extends, and it wants you to throw yourself into everything. And there's an extend. I don't even know how that appears. That 1-up item. Who knows? Ton of different ship types too, and all of the ones that I played, that I tried out in my, again, 5-6 times playing the game all the way through, felt really cool and interesting and varied. So another point in this game's favor for just having a ton. Look at how much I'm getting hit. I'm sucking. It just doesn't matter. The game, you could argue that for, I don't know. It's hard to argue with an approach like this, and I've loved this in previous games that load you up with resources, and it's like trivial to survive them, but then you play for score. So it's kind of a conundrum for me for a game where I don't love the scoring, but I love the moment-to-moment gameplay so much, but survival is really not that difficult. It's just like it's a weird combination of things that I like and things that I don't like. I couldn't quite put my finger on kind of my own feelings about this game even after doing all these clears. I both love it, and I cannot say that it's like not without major flaws in my mind after having played a lot of these games now. Like just that right there, that ship bouncing down and just like shaking the screen like crazy, and me getting hit with like by just not really knowing where the ship's hitbox is. I don't know. It's just shit like that. I just, I can't get down with it. When you can chain a bunch of sweet spots, I will admit it feels pretty good. I mean, even with the screen shakes, like, oh my god. Even with the screen shakes, it can be really satisfying. And I'm using bombs. Those I haven't even mentioned it, but those giant red spheres moving up the screen, that's me bombing. Every ship type has its own kind of different looking bomb, and the way it behaves is sort of different, but I think all of them give you like a really good amount of invincibility, like almost, it looks like almost like 4 or 5 seconds of invincibility, just by me looking at it there. Could be less. Christ almighty. I'm gonna die here. Ooh, yep, there it is. The song rules. I'm just gonna shut up and let it do its thing. Aw. Another thing to mention is there is this really wacky story that I do like. I fast forwarded through most of it because again I didn't expect to clear. I was thinking in my head, oh, it'd be cool to like show the story elements in an eventual clear so people who haven't ever seen this game before can get the idea of it. And of course I just skipped most or all of it. But it is interesting. It's a little bit, or maybe a lot, difficult to follow or understand what it's going for. But it has its own charm. It's kind of cool that you can see the girl who kind of creates this world that you're fighting through is there on the right hand side of my my screen on the border, sipping a cup of tea. She'll be the true last boss that we fight at the very end. See, I'm getting like 24k per sweet spot now, so I managed to chain really good in this level, and I'm racking up points. I'm actually scoring, as opposed to just the shit job that I was doing in basically the entire time before this, unless there were some good moments that I missed. So at least you get to see what some decent scoring play looks like, chaining those sweet spots. And again, like, I don't think you have to hit every sweet spot to chain it. Like if you miss one, it's fine. You just can't get hit. Getting hit is what drops your sweet spot chain, and it drops it pretty heavily. One of the things that would just fix the scoring system really easily, in my view, is if they just make it a little more lenient what you lose of your chain when you get hit. I mean, look at how fast this all is. They clearly, the designer clearly wants you to kind of tank stuff. They give you all those shields, so why would you make it so punishing in your scoring system to when you get hit? I don't really understand it. And hopefully any people who might be watching this who are super beginners or like, maybe looking for their next thing to play, this is not indicative of how difficult the game will be for you. Because, I started the game at the max rank, and if you score well, or I don't even know what increases rank, to be honest. I think it's like a ton of different stuff. But I do know that if you were to kind of hang back and play purely for survival, this is a very, very simple game, or one of the more beginner-friendly games to get a clear in. Like, this is just all looking insane because of the rank that I started at, and chaining well sometimes, and I don't know. I don't really even know what else, but it just varies so vastly from playthrough to playthrough. And if you start out at rank 0, it's and don't score, I'm pretty sure it's like a nice moderate time to clear. Jesus. Yeah, okay. Found a little safe spot. Kind of, sort of. Haven't ever seen any of this shit before. We're at rank 157, so rank could basically double. Which is fun to think about. That does kind of make me want to keep playing this game. Every once in a while I'll pop it on and just see how high I can manage to keep the rank. I didn't mention yet those like grande, tall, like their coffee sizes that show up depending on how close you are to enemies when you kill them. And you always see me try and get really close to those. That just before I lose that thought, those coffee sizes just increase the amount of points you get for the enemies killed, as far as I understand it. So the game wants you to, it's just another way that it pushes you forward and wants you to point blank. Look at this shit. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying after I then finished my thought. I mean, you gotta give it up for this game and how batshit it is. Like, it is really awesome looking in just how much is going on. And not in a bad, like, visually unparsable way either. Like, it's very, very, aside from the goddamn screen shake when you hit a sweet spot, it's very readable. Impressively so for how much they got in here. Okay, I got 1 life left. I got 3 shields. I don't really... I think this is... Is this the stage 4 boss, I think? And there are 5 stages. Still trying to get the sweet spots. Can't help it. Oh my god. Okay, no lives left. How do we manage to clear this? I'm not even sure myself. There's a heat meter down there. I frankly don't even remember what that does. But I will say that the game has like a 46-page manual that's really, really nice and explains basically all the mechanics in a good amount of detail so that nothing is unclear. Even though I didn't retain it because I ultimately didn't care to kind of engage with all the mechanical variety that the game has, it's there for you and it's well explained. Oh yeah, okay. This is the TLB of the game. I don't remember what her name is, but this is really cool. This is like, this boss fight is a big highlight. I'm getting these double, when you point blank these purple ships, I'm getting these double items, which are a bomb and a shield. So it's pumping you up with resources. Oh, and it gave me an extend, so I have 1 life, and, okay, Velose is her name. Probably pronouncing it wrong. Alright, and I think I actually did a pretty good job kind of sight reading all of this stuff, but I should say, because I died so much, rank is pretty low, 72. Definitely not crazy, not the way the game started. So if I were to attempt this while not like playing like shit, maybe I wouldn't have cleared, because this would have been a lot harder at like double the rank. So I don't know, it's a weird system. Sometimes I guess it's advantageous to play like shit in a game with this kind of rank. I was suiciding on purpose all those times. Just trying to make sure I use all my bombs that I have in stock. Sucks to lose them. Not even trying to go for the sweet spots here, just straight survival. Four shields left for this life. Okay, I thought I played well here, but apparently I just got hit a lot more, just like I did through the entire run. This is cool as fuck. Okay, here's where I started to Here's where I started to really feel my play. Oh. Look at that. Look at how slow that health bar up at the top is going. There are a lot of phases of this boss. And I have one shield, no more shields left for this life, and one more life left. And I don't believe I'm getting a score extend here, so. We scraped by. The cruelty of research. I don't know what the hell this game is on with its story. But I do like how bonkers it is. Okay, so I'm on my last life. Got 2 bombs and 2 shields. That's it. The health bar is pretty low now, though. We got it down quite a lot. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. That was so close to being game over. Jesus. Oh no, it wouldn't have been game over. Just a shield loss. Not as dramatic as I thought. Alright, I guess that's it. So, Mecha Ritz Steel Rondo is a, I've been sort of critical of it because I went into it just having heard everybody praise it so highly and reading almost no criticism of it, and I just expected it to be like an absolute home run knockout, and it isn't that, I don't think, but just to make sure like no one gets it twisted, like it's still like an 8 out of 10 shooting game to me. It's like that fun to play. Its scoring is something that I probably won't attempt to dive super deep into, and surviving it is pretty easy. So those two things are not going for it in my book, but just purely kind of moving through its various spaces and its art and its music and all of the different variety that you get in the gameplay with the dynamism of it and on the branching levels, it's still worth your $15 or whatever the fuck it costs on Steam, like 2 or 3 times over. So yeah, check this out if you are into this sort of a shooting experience, a kind of one that kind of like gets away from what a lot of people value in the genre, gets away from like super precise play, super strict routing. Like if you just want something that is flowing and you're gonna flow with it, and you might fuck up like a ton like I did, but hey, you might clear the game as well, and you will definitely have a good time regardless of how bad you're playing. So yeah, if a game like that sounds fun, give this a shot.